What is up, everyone? It has been absolutely ages since a random PowerPC Mac from the outside world has crossed my path, but that wonderful time has finally come again. In January 2019, I now am the proud owner of this guy, a little battered and dirty iMac G4. But you know what? It's made me so happy because it's been ages since we've had the opportunity to check out another PowerPC Mac. So the backstory with this one is truly fascinating because there's a big backstory, but also I know nothing of the history of the machine, so that's why it's so interesting. So to give you guys a little brief explanation, actually before I do that, I want to say a massive thank you to my buddy Jack, one of my oldest and closest friends. Jack is the one that gave me this machine. He basically came down, we did a gig together a couple of weekends ago, and he brought this with him. He now lives in London, and this is where this Mac has come from. So there's that adds to the story, I guess. So yeah, Jack, if you're watching, buddy, thank you so much. He just gave this to me. I guess, you know, he doesn't have time to fiddle with it or whatever, so I most certainly will at some point. But today we're just going to check out the machine and see if we can get some information about it, maybe try powering it up, and we'll see how far we get in this video anyway. It's going to be a bit of a rabbit hole with this particular machine, I think. Anyway, the story is Jack was moving into a new flat, I believe, and he can correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments, but I believe it's as simple as this. He was moving his stuff in, and someone left this iMac G4 on his outside wall, on top of the wall, out the front of the flat or whatever, just left it there, just walked past and dumped it. And that is as much as we know, which is kind of crazy. So it's a pretty impressive backstory, but we know nothing of where the heck this machine came from. And now it's found its way into IMNC HQ Mark II, which is one of the best places for it because it means I can showcase it to you guys. So if anybody out there watching this video, it's highly unlikely, but if anyone knows who the heck belonged to this machine and why it was dumped on a wall outside of Jack's flat when he was moving in, then let me know. Pretty bonkers. So because of that story, every piece of this iMac G4's history before that moment, I am clueless about, which to me is fascinating. So I really hope that by hook or by crook, I can access that hard drive, because being a mixture of like a nosy person, but also truly intrigued to see what this machine was used for, I really hope that the drive is still functioning, because it's just baffling to me why somebody would have ditched this. I mean, is there like criminal confidential files on here or something? I don't know, probably not that exciting. Someone just probably found it somewhere and just dumped it. But it's an iMac G4, so you wouldn't expect it to be dumped, because even if it looks this rough, I mean, it's not too bad. It's still a super sexy looking piece of equipment. It's one of the nicest looking computers that's ever been designed, and to just dump it is just crazy to me. So anyway, what we're going to do is I'm going to boot up my iMac here, a slightly younger sibling to this guy, and I'm going to look up the serial number. We're going to get the specifications and see exactly what this machine is. Off the top of my head, I know it's a 15-inch iMac G4. I can tell just by looking at it because I was the owner of a 17-inch model probably about 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. I sold that pretty quickly. I just didn't have space for it. I didn't have a use for it. But yes, that's one of my most popular videos, by the way, the iMac G4 unboxing. Let's wait and see what we get. I've just got to mention this. It's not coming up too well on camera, but you can see in the same frame here, we've got the iMac G4 and my Core 2 Duo iMac here. You can really see the yellowing difference. I think a lot of it is dirt, but I think probably a lot of it as well is the natural yellowing of the case over time. These haven't suffered with yellowing yet, which is awesome, and I hope that they never do. Some of the older Mac Minis have really suffered, especially the G4 Mac Minis. And I don't know if these have particularly suffered with yellowing. Maybe when I give it a scrub, it'll come up surprisingly nice. They may have also changed the white ever so slightly. This is very, very white. But even just against the Mighty Mouse here, you can see how dull the iMac looks in comparison. But we'll get the magic eraser going and we'll see how best we can clean it up in the future. Not sure how much time we're going to have today because it's work day for me and this is my sort of elongated lunch break, but we shall see. Another quick detail as well, we will get onto the meat and potatoes in a minute, folks. I just want to say all this before I forget. I absolutely love, this is one of my favourite parts and I've only just noticed it now that I'm sitting down. I love the old school Apple font here that says iMac. It wouldn't surprise me if they transitioned away from this font before the end of the iMac G4, so maybe the later USB 2.0 models or whatever. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't have this font. Maybe they do, I don't know, but I just love this font so much. It looks so good on all the older Macs. It's just a gorgeous little touch there. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a lovely model. This is the original iMac G4 flat panel from January 2002. There were two models available, 700 MHz and 800 MHz, and we have the 800 MHz model. So in theory, 800 MHz, 256 megs of RAM, and a 60 GB hard drive. So first model, USB 1.1, of course, 15-inch display as we've already discussed. Beautiful, beautiful. Ooh, what about the drive? Probably a super drive, maybe, at this point? Yeah, so we had three variants altogether. The low end and the middle end were 700 MHz. And then the high end was 800 MHz with a super drive, and also the middle and high end included the Pro speakers. That was the config. Various hard drive sizes, 256 megs of RAM. Yeah, 60 gig drive came in here instead of a 40. Absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So we now know the specs of the machine. We are a little bit closer to getting to know this wonderful little Mac that I have sat beside me here. I think, without further ado, before we procrastinate any longer, I think we should just plug the damn thing in. So I need to find an appropriate power cable and see if it starts up. Now, to avoid any disappointment on camera, folks, Jack did say that he plugged this guy in and tried it out. He tried it out the once, and he got no action from it. He didn't delve into it any deeper than simply pressing the power button, because he didn't have time. So it could well be completely dead, and to be perfectly honest, if it was outdoors, then it probably is completely dead, which would be kind of a shame, but we still have the physical machine here. I just wanted to warn you guys in case we get no joy with the startup. I'm also preparing myself. So let's grab a keyboard just in case it works, and I'll grab a power cable and we will plug this guy up. Alright guys, you can see a bit of the white difference there. This keyboard has started to yellow in between the keys as well. Yeah, anyway, it's all plugged in. Let's see what it does. And prepare yourselves for maybe nothing. Here we go. Do you know what? It just started raining as soon as I pressed that power button. I thought for 2 seconds that was fans spinning up. It's just me being hopeful. Ah, she's dead. She's dead. Okay, we knew that. We knew that. Jack told us. Okay, cool. Bless it. Lovely little machine. It's dead. It's completely dead. Nothing. Oh my word. Wow, okay. Let me just have 2 minutes to think with my brain. So there's definitely juice coming through this cable. I can hear a little arc when I plug it into this laptop power supply. I can hear a little arc there. So there's definitely juice. That's a very scientific way of testing a power cable. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, let's try it one more time. Let's try it one more time. Let's be really hopeful here before we start talking about other things. She's dead, folks. She is dead. I even unplugged the keyboard and mouse from USB just in case. But no, it is dead. So there we have it. We know the specs of the machine, and we now know where we stand in terms of the machine powering up. It does not power up. So while I think about what I'm going to say / do next, I've got another quick thing that I can try. Not in regards to powering the machine up or anything like that, just in regards to the condition. I'm very curious to see what a magic eraser will do to the base of this and what kind of colour we'll get out of it, because depending on how well we can clean this up may determine how much effort goes into the next stage with this iMac, if that makes any sense at all. So I'm going to quickly damp some magic eraser and we'll see how far we get with that. So this is a chunk of magic eraser. I've shown it on the channel before, but for those of you who don't know what it is, this is what the packet looks like. I suppose it comes in different sized packets and stuff. I'm not sure if it's like a brand name or like a universal name, so you might find it from a different brand as well. I find these in Asda in the UK, and for years I didn't know where to get them, and I'd seen online that they were the best way to clean white MacBooks and stuff. They truly are. You just run it under the tap, and then, with a little bit, doesn't have to be white stuff. Oh, guys, look at that. Look at that, see? It truly is a magic eraser. A lot of this is dirt. A lot of it. Let's give a little... Oh, she's coming up lovely. She's coming up lovely. Look at that. We will go through a lot of magic eraser cleaning this guy up. But let's just focus on a small patch on the front here. Just so we've got something to compare the rest of the machine to. Oh yeah, this is nasty. This is nasty. So just with a little bit. I think this would be a case of possibly going over the whole machine with a different cleaning method first and then finalising it with the magic eraser. But look at that. There's the before and after. It's actually more dramatic in person, but before, after. So this is actually cleaning up pretty nicely. Let's try a little bit on the screen. Let's use a fresh end. Okay, this is a two-hand job. Okay guys, check out these scuffs down the bottom here. Magic eraser. Hey, and off they come. A lot of this is just on the surface. A couple of scuffs up there that I thought were pretty permanent. Let's have a look. Need a bit more leverage, kind of hard with the camera, but as you can see, it's all coming off. Check that out, folks. And the colour of the machine is very, very dirty. The colour of the machine is coming through as well. You can see much whiter than there. So this will clean up really nicely. So what we could do, look at that, that looks so strange now where I've been scrubbing. What we could do is we could make a follow-up video about this iMac. We could crack her open, have a little peek on the inside, see what's going on, see if anything is obviously loose. I'll look up some guides and documentation about the internals of the iMac G4. I know that you have to separate a part of the cooling system. If memory serves me correctly, when you remove a certain part from underneath, whether it's the base or the motherboard or something, it breaks the connection, it breaks the bond between some kind of heat pipe or heat dissipation system in there, and you need to reapply thermal compound. That's as much as I remember. I also remember that there's some internal RAM and some RAM that's user accessible. Can't remember if they're both upgradable. I believe they are, but yes, that will all become clear anyway. I need to refresh my memory on these guys. It's been a long time since I've looked into iMac G4s, but we'll crack her open and it'll be something so different for us to look at. It'll be a change from PowerMac towers. It'll be a nice difference to get into the base of this. And as I say, we'll see if anything's obviously loose, see if we can get it powered up, and if not, we'll see if we can extract the drive and look at some of the data on the drive so that we can get a better idea of the history of this machine, if the drive is still working. And then from that point, I said, give it a bit of a scrub with a magic eraser and I'll come up with a load of ideas. I did say. From that point forward, after looking at the drive, we can then make a decision as to whether we're going to try and pursue fixing it as a G4 or whether we're going to turn it into something else. Now, I'm not the best when it comes to DIY skills and that with mods and whatnot, but maybe we could do something cool with this guy. The base is very big, so you could fit one hell of a lot in the base these days. You could get two of like those Intel NUC machines in here, you could, you know, Raspberry Pis, anything. I'll have to look and see what we could do. It would be so sweet to put Mac Mini internals in the base of this thing. I know a million people have done it, but that would be sick. It really would. I'll have to look at display adapters and things, see about the display and how easy it is to drive, see if there's like an off-the-shelf controller that'll drive it. Yeah, there's all sorts at play. So the world is my oyster with this iMac, really. I think it's going to scrub up to be a relatively good condition machine. Now there's a few scuffs on the clear plastic around the edge. I can feel that the back of it is scuffed up. Actually, let me give that a quick go with a magic eraser. Okay, I'm wrong. All of that was just dirt as well. The actual condition is blinking gorgeous underneath the dirt. I mean, I'm not saying there's no scratches on the damn thing, but oh my word, that has cleaned up nicely. I've just given it, just that one side, got a huge chunk of dirt off, just literally like 4 seconds rubbing it, and this feels buttery smooth now. It did feel as if it was covered in scratches, but in fact it was all just dirt. And of course, that's where you're going to get the most dirt, is because that's where your hand naturally goes to adjust the screen. Another quick thing is I'd like to take a look at the screen mechanism to see how easy it is to tighten and stuff, because there's a bit of wobble in the screen there. And if you take a listen, she's not too smooth on the up and down. The side to side is gorgeously smooth, but up and down, she's not that smooth. There's a bit of a crunch going on. So whether you have to lubricate them or if there's something caught or whatever, we'll have to take a look at that. All of that is research that I can do. So we did not see an old PowerPC Mac boot up in this video, but if anything, that's inspired me even more to get this guy sorted. It's going to sit here on my desk reminding me that I need to make the next video, cleaning it up and taking the next steps to determine what we're going to do with it. Because last time I had the iMac G4, I had no space for it, didn't really know what to do with it. I had PowerPC Macs coming out of my ears. But this time, it feels like a million years since I've fiddled with any of this stuff. So I'm really looking forward and to delve into territory that I'm very unfamiliar with. I've been playing it safe with a lot of Power Mac stuff, and don't worry, there's more Power Mac stuff to come. I've got some amazing plans for 2019 and Power Macs. You know, that's a given. They are my favourite thing in the world. But it'll be cool to check out something totally different. And I've been meaning to crack open the Core 2 Duo iMac to change out the drive, so it may inspire me to do that at some point as well, because I've been lacking inspiration to crack into this. I'm just kind of waiting for the drive to die, to be perfectly honest. But anyway, before I babble on any longer, this has been my lovely iMac G4. Again, a huge thank you to Jack. If you're watching, buddy, thank you so, so much. Magic Eraser has really been magic once again. We will use a shed ton of that when we clean up the machine. To save wasting a lot of Magic Eraser, I will definitely go over the majority of the machine with just a normal damp cloth first and some other cleaning materials, and then we'll use the Magic Eraser as just the final little icing on the cake to get the real deep grime off. Because one thing with the Magic Eraser is you do create, either side of where you rub, you create quite a lot of grime, and of course the screen needs a good clean as well. It'd be nice to see what kind of condition the screen is in as well. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this random PowerPC Mac related video. It's been so good to record one. If you're looking for something else to watch, I did upload a vlog recently on the vlog channel. There'll be a link to the vlog channel in the video description, and if I can figure it out, it'll pop up on the screen right now. But I may forget, so just go looking for it if you're starved of IMNC content. I do sometimes, from time to time, upload on that channel, so don't forget it exists. And until next time, I shall see you guys in... Ooh, I've got another video planned. Pretty cool video coming up next time. Nearly finished. I'll get it out. I'll see you guys soon.